The Scarlet and Violet series is going insane. Scarlet and Violet base set is where it all started. So let's take a look at where it started and where it is now. And is this the set you should be keeping your eyes on? Is it the best series to keep your eyes on? Let's take a look. So we're still in the attic, as you can see. I made sure to put some Pokemon behind me so it at least looks good on camera versus it just being giant and empty. But everything should be done tomorrow. So actually, while you're probably seeing this, it should be actually being uploaded. So, and then we can start getting the film room set back up. And normally I'd have a camera or a display right above me here. So I can read everything I need to, like numbers and release dates. So right now, pardon me if I start reaching for the camera. I'm just messing with the computer. I prefer these long shots than like much of pausing and editing, mainly because I don't have the time, right? I got 2 businesses and now doing this. You may be asking, well, why are you starting this now? You're just doing it because everything's up and FOMO's there. Correct. Not because I'm trying to take advantage of the FOMO, but I really quit paying attention to most things. I was just selling, and that was about it, focus on the gym, and then we just started getting so many sales. It started going insane. And then it kind of made me realize, okay, I need to put a little more time in the Pokemon business, and realize, hey, I've hired 4 people at the gym now, and it's actually easier for me to do more of this again. So it's not really hopping in to take advantage of it. It's just I realized, hey, I can actually spend a little more time doing it. So that's why you're seeing videos quite regularly now. So I got help. So Scarlet and Violet base set, to me, is one of the best base sets that's ever released. Okay. I know you may be thinking I'm crazy because when base set first released, it came out and selling at $95 to $100, right? Everyone that's where people started falling off at. Well, I thought it was amazing, right? You still had the illustration rares. You had the alt art still in it. And then pull rates were fantastic. It was easy to get whatever you wanted out of the set. Usually when a base set comes out, they kind of like toss out all the previous iterations or hooks they get you with. For instance, Sun and Moon tag team cards. Sword and Shield came out, they just tossed it. And they just started back with rainbow cards and full arts, right? Which, let's be honest, no one likes. So, and then same thing with Sun and Moon. XY had the Mega Evolutions, and then Sun and Moon came out, back to rainbow cards and full arts. So Scarlet and Violet kind of broke that trend. They took the best parts of the Sword and Shield block, which were the Trainer Gallery cards and alt arts, and they brought it over and just kept adding new things to it. So to me, I looked at that and was like, this is amazing. The card arts are beautiful, right? I want to collect every single one. And that's how I like to approach these things. I don't look at it as an investor standpoint. If I did, I do a lot more gambling, which I suck at. So I just look at the sets I like and the cards I like in it. I'm like, I want to collect that, right? So I love the illustration cards because they kind of give less popular Pokemon. I should say less popular. Everyone has a favorite Pokemon. That doesn't mean it's less popular. For instance, mine is Sandshrew and Poliwag, right? Which you might be asking why you called BulbaCards. Why not Polycards or Sandy cards? It just sounds dirty. So we went with BulbaCards instead. So those are my favorite cards. So now illustration arts give those cards a chance to have something amazing printed versus it having to be the big hyped Rayquaza, right? The new trio partner Pokemon. So that's why I liked it. And as soon as I saw the base set was coming out with that, I was hyped. But demand didn't meet that hype. So again, the booster boxes were selling at $95 at release, which is after taxes and fees, you're losing money as a store. So this was actually why I stepped away a little bit. It wasn't because I didn't care. It was, well, I got money from the gym now, and I don't need to sell things at a loss to get ready for the next set. So I could just wait for the next set and buy it with the money from the gym. And I was able just to keep, selling and just when orders came in, fulfill them. I didn't need to do much more. So this is where demand kind of dropped So right now, though, the Scarlet and Violet booster boxes are sitting about $165. I don't know if it's people just finally realizing, hey, these sets are pretty good. I can't find Surging Sparks, but I can find base set. So it's sitting around MSRP to me isn't too surprising. I think people are having trouble finding those other sets, and now they're looking at opening this. I don't think any kind of buyouts are going. I think it's pretty natural growth. So let's lean over to this computer. I'm not pausing. I'm keeping it on. And let's pull up the ETBs. So the ETBs are currently sitting at about $55. Now, there's 2 ETBs in the set, and a lot of people don't realize when they release 2 ETBs, we get 1 allocation. So it's the same allocation as if it was 1 ETB. They just simply split it up. So when there's 2 different ones like this, it actually helps me sell product a little easier because everyone wants both, right? Where Paldea Evolved has 1, so people buy 1 and they're set. So this literally doubles my ETB orders. So I loved them. But when they were first released, they were sitting about $32, $35, which is about wholesale, right? After taxes and fees, you sell at $32, you're probably taking a loss. But up to about $45 now. And this is when they actually started introducing promo cards to the ETBs. So I was actually thinking this was going to hype up the ETBs much more, which they really didn't, but I thought they would. Now, let's start looking at a few of the Pokemon. The first one is a surprising one I didn't think we would ever really look at, which is Drowzee. Drowzee is currently sitting around $75 to $79. At release, it was $3, okay? Now, this is certainly because of buyouts. People targeting it, trying to buy it out to raise the price, get it graded, raise the price, etc. Now, I get it. It's a nice card. It's nothing super crazy, but if this was an X and Y base set where the best cards are full art, and this was the card, it'd be a $90 card. So it is nice, but with all the other nice cards in base set, this isn't a $90 card. I think it will drop back down. Hopefully. We shall see. No one wants to pay $90 for this Drowzee. Or you do. My apologies if you do. Now, the next one we have here is Gard of Wire. God of Wire. So for you, some of you guys who don't know, I was actually deaf up until I was like 5-ish, 5.5, 6 years old. And I couldn't speak at all because of it. So I was in speech class up until I was like 15. So it's not that I have a lisp or anything. It's my brain just doesn't connect very well to some words. I just physically can't say it, like Guard of Wire. So pardon my mispronunciation if you ever hear it. It's not an accent. It's literally, I just physically can't say some words. Don't know why. But it's currently sitting at about $60, where at release, you're looking around $30 for this card. Now, this entire Evolution line was one of the most popular ones in base set when it came out. So we'll actually see another member of it on this list. But now let's look over at Slowpoke. I actually think this card's adorable. This was one of my favorite cards in the set, but it's not a $55 card. This is another one I think is being taken advantage of in the manipulation market. Is that a market? No. Manipulation tactics? Yeah. But either way, I don't think that's the natural price of it. I could see it coming back down, but it's currently sitting at $55 at release. Again, another $3 to $5 card. The next one we're looking at here is Ralts, right? The other member of the Guard of... Please don't make me say this anymore. Ralts is sitting about $50, $55. Again, at release, you were looking about $10, $5 for this card. Not too much else to really say on it. Now, this is the one I wanted to get to because it's quite surprising. The Miriam card. Not Miriam card. That's my wife, Miriam. Miriam card. This card was actually sitting around like $120 at release, and now it's all the way down to about $35. So that's a massive nosedive for this card. Why is that? Well, alt arts in the set, very easy to pull, and there's not very many of them. Illustration rears, there's a crap ton of them. So Danny Phantom breaks this down real well. Even though the pull rates aren't that low, when you have that majority of them, that many of them, it takes much more to pull an individual card. So I think that's why the alt arts are so low in this set. But again, at release $120, now sitting around $33, right? I think base set is an amazing set. I think if you haven't got to open any, get it now before the price gets too high, because things are easy to pull in this. They're very playable. Maybe not now, but when they first released, they were very playable. But the card arts are amazing. This is the best base set that's released in a long, long time, right? Again, I keep coming back to this. Base sets always started fresh. If you look at XY, plain. Sun and Moon, plain. Black and White, plain. Diamond Pearl, plain. The last real hyped base set, maybe Ruby and Sapphire's series was pretty nice. That was the only series I never collected, so I really can't tell you off the top of my head. But you have the Neo series, amazing. E-Reader cards, probably the best base set ever. The Neo and, of course, original base set. So those are all real hype base set, but everything in the modern era were awful. So I think Scarlet and Violet base set has bucked that trend, and hopefully they'll carry this on to the next set. But I want to know what you think. Do you think base set is worth the price it's currently sitting at, $160 for a booster box, MSRP? I think that's fair. Not much higher. If it goes much higher, probably not. But this is an easy set to pull what you want from it, and you're going to get a lot of cards. So comment down below. Do you think it's worth it? Do you like the set? Do you like the set but just don't think the price is worth it? Let me know down below. Until next time, we'll see you guys here at BulbaCards. Violet series is going insane. Is Scarlet and Violet base going to be the next top thing? Today, we're going to look at Scarlet and Violet base. Scarlet and Violet.